Hello, it's me, McKay. This is gonna be my first actual YouTube video talking instead of singing or playing an instrument, and so I'm nervous, but I'm also really excited because I really want to get good at this to be able to express how I'm feeling and what I want to talk about in a deliberate and informative way and get it right one of these days. So I'm just gonna try. This is gonna be like super messy, but I want to talk about this, and so we're doing it. I'm talking about the chakras. What are they? What the hell is a chakra, right? So in the basic form, like you have your body, you have your physical body, and I have my notes with me too. So your body is like a physical manifestation of these energy points that you have within your body, and they basically make up your physical body. That's why it looks the way it does, that's why it functions the way it does, is because of how these meridians and chakras are placed and how they function basically. And I have something right here. I found like a really like awesome quote actually, and I'm gonna read it right here. It was from Carolyn Miss, I think that's how you pronounce it, and she said, "Every thought and experience in your life is filtered through your chakra database. Each event is recorded in your cells." So what's happening is, as we go through life and everything, we have our chakras and everything, but when you have like a traumatic experience or something that leaves you feeling a negative emotion, it doesn't just go away. It's in your body, and if you don't like work through it or understand it or even know that it's there, it's still there and it's affecting you in a very big way actually. And so with the energy system, the purpose of it is to, just like your body, you know, it's giving you signals, letting you know how you feel and what's going on and what needs attention. So what is a chakra? What does it look like? What is its purpose? What does it do? It starts with, in the most basic form that I have found from other information, other sources, is how it starts is, so you have all of these chakras, there's 7 of them. Energy from God, energy from source, energy from whatever you like to call it, it comes to you, through you, to your crown chakra and all the way down all of your other chakras through the left side of your body like a cycle, and then it comes back up from the right side of your body. And the actual word for chakra is a wheel. It's a spinning wheel, which makes sense because it's like a little bit of a cycle through here, and then each chakra themselves actually spins in its own direction as well. So it makes kind of sense, doesn't it? Doesn't it really? If you think about it, because we are always receiving and giving out information everywhere we are, and it makes so much sense. We get something from source, and then it goes through us, and then however we chew it up and spit it out is how it's going to come back, right? And so you can kind of see where there would be an issue if there was any problems with any of the chakras that we have, because it comes through, and if it's not digested properly, I guess, then it'll get blocked. Some things won't come out when they're supposed to. It'll be like trapped inside of you, or it'll come out and it's not going to feel good. So what we have to do is like do energy work on ourselves and focusly, intentionally dig up the dirt of all of the stuff that has bothered us throughout our whole experience and heal through it. And it's not the most comfortable experience, but that's what needs to be done, because we experience so many things on a daily basis and we get triggered a lot by a lot of things, and we don't even really notice it, or we try to avoid it. And that's exactly why we start experiencing like physical issues and symptoms that are associated with those chakras. And it's actually really fascinating when you really get into it, when you start thinking about it. So I'm gonna go just a little bit into each chakra and like what they mean, and obviously like how, if you're having problems in this area, like work on doing like some meditations or things like that to kind of dig up that. It's not the best experience, but it can be cool too. Just you're getting to know yourself and your body and what kind of things you really do have inside of yourself. So it's really exciting. So further ado, I'm getting ahead of myself. the first chakra is at the base. It's more like, instead of like, it's in the back more so than the front of you. It's in like the base of your spine, like the first tailbone spine type of thing. And it's red. It's a deep ruby red color, and it represents security, safety, your survival instincts, your animal instincts that we all have, and feelings of safety. And so what could bring this out of alignment, obviously, is feeling unsafe, or feeling like your sense of safety is being threatened, your sense of security, and you feel like you're in that fight or flight mode type of thing. You don't feel safe in your body, or you just in general. And so think about any time you have ever felt that in your entire life, something happened to your root chakra. Something energetically really did affect your root chakra. And if you never did any energy work on it, then it's still probably not in its best, I don't know what I'm trying to say, in its best function right now. So what you would need to do, and I've heard that, this is what I've heard, I have never really experienced this, but I've heard that the root chakra is probably one of the most uncomfortable of chakras to try to open, because it's just it's the root. And the root chakra also talks about, it's like the one chakra that's most connected to the physical world, as opposed to all the other chakras. So if you got anything going on with that, look into it, see what that's like. That's all I'm doing for the root chakra. I get too ahead of myself. And then the next one, straight up, this one's about like 3 inches below your belly button, and it's a bright orange, the sacral chakra. This one, it represents sexuality, creativity, and a little bit of like self-expression as well. So with that being said, with the deep root orange, I love orange, anything that you've ever felt that made you feel shame or guilt, or just to feel bad for just being who you are, or that you do something, or what you're doing is wrong, you should be ashamed of yourself type of thing, like that is definitely root centered into your sacral chakra. So anytime you've ever felt guilt or shame for anything, it could be something of a sexual nature, or it could be something of just a personal preference, and someone like made you feel really bad for liking a certain thing, that'll affect your sacral chakra as well. And so when you go into meditation about that, you really need to sit down and ask yourself, what are the times in my life when I have felt deep shame or guilt towards something, and is that really necessary? How can I let go of that? Big stuff. And yeah, so it's a nice orange color. I don't know, I really like, because it represents creativity. And so anyone who's having any creative blocks as well, try to look into like how your relationship with sexuality is, if how you feel about it, and that might actually help you with your creative blocks as well. Next, we have the solar plexus, which is the middle chakra, and it's a bright yellow like the sun. And that's kind of what I think of when obviously solar, sun, radiating energy. And I'm a Leo, so obviously I'm ruled by the sun. So this chakra, I liked working with this chakra a lot, because it talks about self-confidence, having a really good relationship with yourself, and having free self-expression. And what usually gets this chakra out of alignment is getting insecure, definitely. Just developing a really like not healthy relationship with yourself and your mind, and like when you say like really like not nice things to yourself, or if someone else said something to you that made you like really insecure about like maybe a part of your body, or just, you know, things like that happen. Like that is other people's opinions get in the way, and it makes you judge yourself and see yourself in a different light. And so with the solar plexus chakra, it's really important to cultivate a really strong sense of power for yourself, aware of your own power and what you bring to the table, as well as compassion for yourself so that you can express yourself freely without judgment of other things. Don't let other people take out your light, right? And that's what I think of with the solar plexus. So this can be a really hard one for people who don't have like the best self-esteem and things. So I would really work on that for anyone who's struggling with that kind of stuff. Like solar plexus is where it's at. And then up to my personal favorite chakra of all time is the glowing green heart chakra. My favorite. I don't know why, but this is just like, I feel like this one associates very well with what I was talking about with the energy system. Is the heart, it is your powerhouse. It's boom, boom. It's always beating for you as well as your breathing. It also centers your lungs as well. And you're always breathing in, breathing out. You're always getting blood, taking blood, getting blood, taking blood. And so there's always like this beautiful cycle that's happening in your body at all times. And it's centered by the beautiful green glowing heart chakra. So heart chakra, obviously, love. How you give, how you receive love. And this can be a really hard one for a lot of people because I feel like almost everyone on the planet, at least at some point, has experienced something where they felt they were being used or betrayed or hurt and things like that. And that all resides in your heart chakra. Every single thing. Any emotional, you know that feeling when you just feel like your physical heart has actually like torn apart or was just like stopped beating, like you take that in. It's your database. It's in your cells, you know. So anytime you've ever felt anything other than love, that's resides in your heart chakra as well. So do some meditations on that and like envision like a light, like green, just like beautiful light just emerging into your heart. That's what I like to do. And yeah, I feel like it's one of the most important chakras because love is everything. Like if you don't know how to receive and give love in a healthy way, then almost every other thing is going to like be out of whack. Ain't that true? My favorite chakra. I don't know. Okay, and then we have my least favorite chakra is your throat chakra. And every time I mention the throat chakra, I feel my throat close. It's so funny. And the throat chakra talks about, I don't know why I say talks about, it represents personal truth and expressing your truth freely without feeling like you need to water yourself down or, you know, why? Yeah, it's a bright, beautiful, like a blue, just like, oh, the color blue obviously represents like personal truth as well, so it works. And this is just, oh my gosh, I like my mind goes blank when I start thinking about the chakra because there's just so many like situations in my life where I felt like I had to personally just like shut down or fucking lie. Everything that I say just has to be a lie because if I was truthful, then people would be like, you're fired. And things like that. So I have a lot of like issues with my throat chakra and I do a lot of throat chakra meditations. And it's so difficult because you have to, when you're in that meditative state, what you're really doing is you're bringing all of the crappy things that you've ever felt to the surface, basically, and you're re-experiencing them so that you can be in that moment where you feel triggered, and instead of not doing anything about it, finally owning up to it and letting it pass through you. And that's how you let everything come out of you. You're no longer constipated, basically. Yeah. So, throat chakra, speak your truth. Always go with your gut and say what you mean. And a lot of the throat chakra, I feel like a lot of women have issues with having blocked throat chakras because it also talks about, you know, being able to let people know how you feel about them, say no when you mean it, and don't let other people do things to you when you don't want them to. Like, speak your truth. There's a car passing by. Speak your truth. Don't ever let somebody do something that you're not comfortable with. Always speak up for yourself. There's a lot of things with like feeling like you don't have a voice. or even if you were to speak out, like, your opinion doesn't matter. A lot of people, if you were a child and you grew up and you felt like anytime you ever voiced your opinion or anything, it wasn't validated, that's also a thing with the throat chakra. Like, you gotta like clear that out. That's like so important. Okay. Third eye chakra. Bye, throat. Goodbye. Third eye chakra. What does this represent? It is a bright indigo, right in between your eyes, and it represents having your own inner wisdom and being able to connect to your source and understand what the truth is. Basically, it's seeing the truth for what everything really is, instead of what everyone else is telling you, what you've been telling yourself as just like to cover your lies up. Throat chakra. So it's all about coming to the truth about things and accepting them and seeing the beauty and the wisdom in everything, and how you shouldn't be afraid of the truth, because everything, essentially, there's nothing wrong with anything. It's all just perfectly flowing in its own pace and everything. And with this day and age, I feel like this is the chakra that a lot of people, I talk about the pineal gland being like calcified and nobody like having their third eye open, is because there's a lot of people who don't even understand that almost every thought that they have has been put into their head by somebody else. And they're being controlled by the media, by the news, and things like that. And so a lot of people associate I think you see more stuff about the third eye chakra than any of the other chakras when it comes to that kind of stuff, because it's very true. Very true. So it's crazy. So do some meditation. Try to get away from the news. Stop watching Trump on on the news, and just tap into your own inner wisdom and see what happens. I think you'll be surprised what kind of happens when you first delve into that, if you've never done it before. Okay. And next we have the 7th chakra, which is the crown chakra. It's located, I think it's a little bit above your head, if I'm correct. And I think it's just kind of like I think it's just a white color, honestly. I don't really know if it's associated with any other color, but I like to think of white. And it represents your connection to the divine and everything, your source, God. Every single tree you see, every single person you meet, it represents the union between you and all other things. Beautiful. I love when I don't know, doing a meditation with this one, I just start feeling such a sense of like joy and peace and love, because I just start feeling everything, and I'm just like, oh yeah, like we really are just like this whole spinning wheel of consciousness, just experiencing and feeling all these things, and then we all die. But yeah, I like this one a lot. I don't know, they're all just so beautiful. And so with that in consideration, it's just a little bit of information that I have. I'm no expert on anything by any means. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this because it's inside of me. And yeah, I just think it's really cool and really important when you really start seeing things as like that. It comes in, it goes out. And if you have every single chakra in alignment, you have everything going on, everything's going to flow so smoothly, and you're going to feel so connected to your own source, and you're just going to understand why you feel the things you do. When something arises, you can take it and you can apply it so it'll actually work for you instead of against you, instead of blocking you and making you energetically constipated. Take a spiritual stool softener, basically. It might be uncomfortable when it's coming through, but you'll feel a lot better afterwards. Oh God. Okay, I can't believe I'm gonna post this, but I'm going to. Yeah, that was my little tidbit on chakras. It's probably not the most informative thing out there, but I want to get it out there. Hopefully I'll get a hold of myself soon. Thank you for watching this. I hope you got something out of it. Yeah, probably not, but thank you for being with me. If anyone got to the end of this video, you were my hero. Thank you. Bye. I'll probably, after this, I'm going to start doing some of the chakras individually. So my next video will be on specifically just the root chakra and how to open it, what to do, all that fun stuff. So I hope to see you. If you like this video, please subscribe to me. I also play music. If you've just found this video, check me out. I'm full of love. Bye.